Software stocks have become ground zero for investors' anxiety over the possible disruption coming from AI. The software sector as a whole has lost about 30% of its value in just the last 3 months, with those losses accelerating this week, even despite some relatively strong earnings from leaders such as Salesforce.com, such as Microsoft. Now, the main concern here is that either free or cheap coding tools being rolled out by the likes of Anthropic through its Claude service may displace a lot of paid for software applications and even infrastructure software. People are being able to code and replace a lot of the software tools that they now use, or at least the fear is that they will be able to do that simply by asking Claude to create something like that. Now, one of the reasons the damage has been so severe to software stocks is that previously, for many, many years, it was such a great business. Investors loved the very long-term recurring revenues that came from companies and individuals paying for long-term licenses based on how many employees were using these tools. Now, one of the results here is that many of these large software stocks are starting to look very inexpensive relative to their own history, if in fact current levels of revenue and cash flow and earnings can hold up. That, of course, is the big question. Right now, all the excitement in AI is mostly in Alphabet, which is seen as having a lead in its large language model and its consumer monetization strategy, as well as, of course, the chips, in particular the memory chips right now that are going to be needed for this build out. Finally, many software companies felt as if their valuations were kind of cushioned by the possibility down the road that they could be acquired, that private equity could buy these companies because of their recurring cash flow. Now, that's now under doubt because a lot of the private capital companies are being hurt. So right now it's a matter of a contrarian bet and when cheap has become cheap enough for investors with a long-term time horizon to perhaps wade into this area.